Hello there everybody, and welcome back to my toes. That's right, I'm holding them just for you. In fact, that's not the only thing I've been holding. I've been holding your comments in high regard. Thank you all so much for the feedback in the previous episode, for all your ideas on how we're going to handle the various rules regarding block limits and the building. And you know what? It's all part of the process on this channel. I'm sure it must be infuriating for someone watching this in the future. Let me know down in the comments. That could be your turn, people. The ones who watch this outside of the comment cycle. You must be like, I can't vote! And I don't care. So here we have a block limit of 200. That's what we're currently on. We started with 100. We killed a pirate a couple episodes ago. We killed another pirate encounter yesterday or last time. And we defeated a reaver as well. So that gives us a block limit of 200. 25 for each pirate, 50 for each reaver. I decided not to go per ship. It is going to slow things down a bit, but that was kind of the point, so that's fine. We're doing it per encounter. Thank you to everybody for all the feedback. I really like the one suggestion I saw where small grid ships could count for like 20% of the large grid ships, and that way each drone was worth 5. And it was really, really clean. It was a really good idea, but after some thinking, I decided to just go with a more simple one encounter, one upgrade. This is just a good idea for other content creators watching this who want to learn from my mistake. If you're going to have a rule, make sure you can explain it in one breath. That's got to be kind of the... That's if I've taken anything away from this series, is that you can have complex rules, but you've got to have them presentable in very simple formats. Otherwise, people get lost, including yourself, constantly. Okay, so let's go ahead and fly towards our welders. And we're just going to do a little bit of a patch job on this ship. And I think we can, in fact, reach the top of the ship just from the bottom, that actually does lend itself to some interesting repair or printing thoughts. Maybe we don't have to print it the way we're doing it now. Although it's not the end of the world. Okay, and let's go ahead and dock this lad. So there are 2 upgrades I want to make to our other rockets over here. The first is I want to give them reactors. We now have so much extra uranium that I think we can safely do so. The next thing I want to do is probably fix the piping, because one of these connectors does not connect to the other one. Is it this one? Wait, okay, or maybe it was just full or damaged. Oh, it was probably just damaged. He's free. Okay, this is another point. Someone did mention that if I just wait for the new patch to come out for space engineers, which we were slated to be a part of by Keen, but I haven't received any further correspondence from them. I wonder why. There's no reason whatsoever why they wouldn't want us promoting their product. But apparently there's going to be a new connector type that allows you to connect small and large grids directly. How it took them 14 years to add that one is beyond me. Maybe there is a genuine technical code limitation and a good reason for it. I don't know. I don't work for Keen. But it's nice that it's finally in the game. So let's not complain that it took a while. Let's just be grateful that it's happened at all. If I share the inertia tensor or something here, is that going to help? I feel like I've added wobbles by doing that. Isn't this just going to start wobbling now? Oh, no wobbling that I can see. Okay, all right, I'll take it. And that means you, sir, you are finally able to dock as well. So that was a pretty successful little manhunt. I think what we want to do now, well, let's upgrade these drones like I described. But then the second thing we're going to want to do is to maybe upgrade the base a little bit. Specifically, I'd like to see a much larger percentage of this covered in large guns. That's the goal right now. So you... yes, I instead of a battery, we had a reactor here. That's what I want to do. And this will automatically be turned off by Izzy's refueling script. That's good. We want that. Yellow means that it doesn't have any stuff in it. Red means that it has been turned off. It's on standby. But if I hop in here, I should be able to see System inventories for this ship only. We getting a little bit of uranium in there? Not really. Inertia tensor? On. Okay, there we go. Just lock those ghost forces to the rock. That seems to have genuinely helped quite a bit. Alright, nice. Alright, with that done, I think it's time for more guns. More guns, more good. And maybe some decoys. We gotta bury some decoys in here. So I'm gonna whip out the old spectator cam. And we're gonna get this ship on the road. We're gonna get a couple of pointy bits sticking out of this rock. That hopefully do a lot more pointing back than we did before. Okay, there we go. We've got ourselves some Gatling guns. They're attached to these welders, which will repair them as they shoot and get damaged and things like that, which is super handy. Of course, if the welder gets damaged, well, then that's not much good. I guess we could have a welder that repairs the welder that repairs the Gatling gun.
And then a welder that repairs the welder that repairs the welder that repairs the Gatling gun. And then a welder that repairs the welder that repairs the welder that repairs the welder that repairs the Gatling gun.
That's definitely an option, but this is what we're going for now. I am pretty partial to this kind of layout. I do want to add some scaffolding and things just to make it look more largely, you know how it is around here. But that will be something that's going to be handled by a brand new mod, which is going to be a little bit controversial. Now, I need to land over here and have a frank and sincere discussion with all of you. Okay, hello, are you listening? Gamers, the unfortunate truth here is that as much as I love creating content for this channel and chatting to all of you and interacting with you in the comments and all that, sometimes, I'll be honest, sometimes I really am struggling for time at the moment. For those of you who don't know, I am a humanitarian lawyer in my real life job, right? That's what I actually do for a living. But I also currently work as an English teacher in South Korea for visa purposes. And as such, I'm flat out of time at the moment. I'm working 3 jobs in total, 2 in the humanitarian field and 1 in the educational field, and all of them take a lot of time, which means, sincerely, I have like 45 minutes to an hour a day at most of free time. And when I'm doing that, I'm spending it doing this, which is basically like work at times, especially with the more grunty stuff. So, I'm going to make the executive decision here to add a mod that is quite controversial. A lot of people don't like it. A lot of people don't care. I just hope that this appeal to rationality will state some of the problems, because the simple truth is I just don't have time to build and play the way I normally would and the way I'd like to. Hopefully in a few months we'll be able to rectify that, but for now, this is kind of what we're stuck with, which means I'm going to be adding, and I have already added, the build and repair mod. It is also called Nanobots, I believe, and the concept is pretty simple. This is like a global welder. We used it a lot in Season 1 to much controversy. So this time I will be scaling back my usage a little bit. I'll be being a bit more sensible with it. But the premise is quite simple. The way this works is you exchange an enormous amount of power, I mean truly gargantuan amount of power, And in exchange, you get nanobots. Nanobots are really nifty little machines that can fly around and build things for you. They do it slowly, they do it passively, they do it over time, but the most important part, of course, is that they do it. The premise here is you trade 200 kilowatts of energy. That's right, 200 kilowatts of energy for one nanobot machine if it's actively working, right? You can also get them to grind stuff. I'm on the fence about whether or not I'll do that. We might use it to like clean up trash. I still want to build the grinding pit because I love doing it. Oh my god, so many motors. Do I even have that many motors left? I do. That's a lot of superconductor. Oh no. Oh, we don't have anywhere enough superconductor, do we? We might, maybe, be able to make the semiconductor needed to build this thing. If we can, what that will allow me to do is, for example, place down scaffolding and stuff, and then all I have to do is put down the basic block, like the shell, and the nanobots will build it over time. That's it. That's all it does for us. It's not like this is going to magically repair the base 15 times per second whenever a Reaver shoots at us. You can get it to that point, but the amount of power you need is honestly unfathomable. Go watch Season 1 with our moon base. We kind of had a system like that running. It was really cool, don't get me wrong, but it is like completely, almost comedically unsustainable. Gold and iron. Okay, well, I have a gargantuan amount of both, right? Like, we have a stupid amount of gold. Yeah, we got 3,000 gold and 300,000 iron. So I'm not too worried. I think we will actually be able to build this one module. I don't have the power to support that many. I think with one small reactor, you can run 4 of these, and they work very, very slowly. All right, well, while that works, what I want to go and do is start thinking about our large grid ship. And of course, you know, the benefit to using the build and repair mods is also we'll be able to design a large grid ship much faster. It just basically means that despite my incredible time crunch at the moment, which doesn't, I was really hoping it would let up a bit by now, but it hasn't, and it doesn't show any signs of slowing down. I will still be able to produce this content that you guys love so much. So thank you. I'm going to stop justifying it now, but that is the premise, and I hope we can all be rational adults about this. Oh, baby, there we go. 3 more. 2 more. Give it to me. There we go. We've got nanobots build and repair up and functional. Okay, so let's take a look at this thing and see how it works. So that is our build and repair system. That's number 1. Also, I should probably put all my turrets, banana turrets on a group. All right, so how does this thing work? Well, here we go. So there are many different modes. There's walk mode, which means that they will only crawl the current grid to repair things. And then there is fly mode. Fly mode, they means they will look around them for stuff that is kind of anything, any block within its working radius will work, right? Then we can weld before we grind. That's the priority list. I'm going to set these to welding only for right now. I don't want them grinding stuff down. Now we can pick our current build color, which is... So if I just make sure, I want to say if anything is this color, I want you to build it, basically. So if we go in, so we make sure we've got that set to our, if you look at the bottom right underneath where your artificial gravity plane shows up, there is the color selector. That's what we're set to. So basically, if a block has those color values, you set it to pick color once you've got it selected on your taskbar, and then you say set build color. So then it will go ahead. So pick color pulls your current color template, and then set build color sets it to these values. And what that means, also you can help each other, you can build new things. Don't build projected blocks for me, thank you. And you can weld to functional. You can also go beyond, but I think we'll just allow it to work. And the way this works right here, right, is that you can also set up grinding. So I'm going to build this guy here, but I'm going to build him of a different color. So he's green, right? The nanobots are going to ignore this block completely, okay? If I build a block next to it that is the brown color we just set. Oh, wait, hold on. My bad. Sorry. Demonstration failure. This thing defaults to off, I think. Yes. There we go. Okay. Because it uses so much power. All right, so right now, what you're hearing is it's fixing damaged blocks around the place that were damaged in that Reaver attack instead of just doing the welding for me. Very kind of it. It should tell me what it's up to here. Yeah, so you can see it's trying to build Lucy gyroscope 10, 11, and 12 because those were damaged. This is its construction queue. Okay. We're not missing any items right now. We're kind of just working on all of it. It's fixing the mushroom. Hell yeah. There we go. It's patching up the old mush. You love to see it. Honestly, I call that historical preservation. Okay, well, while it's going through the list, we can talk about some of the amazing other functions, right? So we spoke about how the building works, and I'll show off the color thing in a second. You can do the same thing with grinding, where you can designate specific colors to be grindable, which I think is really awesome. There's also the janitor feature, which is probably my favorite thing about it, is if there's like random floating blocks that are in your base or nearby it within the range of this thing, it will just grind them down. Which I really like, because they just take up PSU, because if they're close enough to you, or PCU, sorry, because if they're close enough to you, the game won't get rid of them, and this just cleans that up, it's really handy. For example, like if a Reaver blows up near us, and I miss a couple pieces of scrap metal, or whatever, this will clean it out, which is really nice. Oh, there we go, we're waiting. So there's nothing else going on. It'll also collect floating objects within its range. So let's go ahead and test this out now. So I'm going to change the color to be green. If we build that, let's build it. All right, why is it doing that? It shouldn't. Hold on. I'm a goofy goober. Right. This is the ignore color. This is the color we have when we ignore things. Yeah, we don't... Sorry, I'm mistaken. I thought it only built what you had designated the color. I was wrong. The same system does work. This builds everything except that color, which means that if I were to place down this block now, it shouldn't build it. And it doesn't. Okay, cool. There we go. So I think what we want to do is, I think we're going to take that green and we're going to make that our grind down color, because it's just really visible, which makes it a bit easier to figure out what we are looking at. So let's just get green on the menu. And what we're going to do is go control panel. We're going to go to this guy and we're going to say, pick the current color and set that for grinding. So we're going to use a grinding color. It's not just going to grind everything. This also means it won't grind scrap around us unless the color is set. I'm going to turn off the ignore color. Yeah, so now it's going to build everything that is also, yes, that is also all of these colors, because right now it was ignoring them. I guess a few things just have like 99% of them. So if we say grind if the weld gets stuck. So basically if welding can't work, it will go ahead and grind it down. Okay, so right now it's just cleaning up all the damage to the base. Oh, which you love to see. I want to build these guys. There we go. Some angled floodlights, right? So all I need to have on me now is some steel plates. And I go tuk, tuk, tuk. And it will build the lights for me again. Which is just so handy. There we go. And they're getting built. I still have to do the settings for them. That doesn't do it for me. But it does help a little bit. We can also have a look at its working area. It is fairly substantial, as you can see. So if we can drag that that scaffolding over here, this will be able to help it up, which will be really nice. Okay, now, of course, the most rational thing to do is to slap down a second one of these, because we've got a little bit of power, and that's probably going to be the last one we get to fit in here. So let me go ahead and cut this away, right? And then what we're going to do is put in a connection here. And we'll just do it like that. And then this one can fit in right here. And I just got to give it some space. Okay, there we go. So now the nanobots are building the nanobots. And the machines build the machines, which build machines, which build machines. I'm probably going to run 2 of these for sanity's sake. Oh, look at that. And it did grind down that block. All right, lovely. Okay, so that's the demo of the build and repair system. I need to figure out how to turn down that noise. God, that's awful. And I guess it's now time that we've got this functional to start planning our hauling block. Yeah, let's do this.
3 days later.
Okay, but snap back to reality here. It has been literal in real life days since I was last able to play this. I also noticed that the the gravity generator had been repaired. So I have changed it to red, made it rusty, and told it to ignore building in this color. So if you see anything that is a rusty red, I don't know if the rust actually matters, but if you see anything that's this red, that's the reason for it. It's because I don't want the nanobots to build it. Now, I went and got some more nickel in between recording sessions here, as well as a little bit more stone and stuff, just digging around the base mostly. And we were actually able to get the second one printed up. It used functionally all the motors we've ever made, so we're going to need more of those. But that's okay. That's a problem for later. It's a problem for later. I might take a starfish out to the nickel mine, wherever it is, and just absolutely load up even more. But that's something that we can maybe put a drill on it. I don't know. We'll figure it out. What are we going to do now? I think the next step just so that this episode actually has content. I think the next step here is going to be building the hauler. Yeah, let's go get the scaffolding and bring it here. I think that's going to be our next big plan. My plan for said scaffolding, by the way, is to kind of staple it onto the asteroid somehow. Maybe we'll stick it onto the side or the bottom. I don't know, or build a little extension that connects the two, and that way it's not a ship, right? And I really did like the concept people had suggested, which was bring it over here, connect it to the ship with merge blocks, build it out as a ship, right, that is able to fly, and then get it moving when you are ready to move it. Now, the reason that we have never done that to the asteroid, and I keep mentioning this in comments but keep forgetting to share it in the videos, is that you cannot move voxels in Space Engineers. These rocks right here are completely static. They cannot ever move. You can paste new ones in using creative mode tools, but you cannot, like, put engines on this thing and fly it around. The game engine can't do it. So, unfortunately, that is not something we'll ever be able to do, but we could build the station off the station and then cut it off, and then if it's just made out of blocks, then it can fly around no problem. Okay, but either way, we need to bring that thing over here. So I think the next step is going to be, I think it's definitely going to be designing the leapfrog. Now, or redesigning the leapfrog. Now, there were many comments that suggested both sides of the coin here. People mentioned that they'd love to see the leapfrog return, and I agree, it was a really cool design. And other people mentioned that they would like to see a new design with the block limit in mind, right? We have 200 blocks at the moment, and I think that is actually more fun. I think it's more in keeping with the new series, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to redesign the... we're not going to... we'll use the same concept as the leapfrog, and we'll build from there. Okay, cool. I'd only even suggested it because of the time crunch, but I think that's a bit silly. I think don't design around the constraints, or rather, do design around the constraints, but not the ones that you don't impose yourself. You know, that just sucks. Okay, cool. Let's do this. I think we're gonna do it right off here. I think that's the plan. I think I might actually build it as part of the station. Like, just draw a line of blocks out. Yeah. And then that way it'll charge from the batteries. Okay, so let's move this guy out the way and get started. Okay, this is the design. This is the Leapfrog 2, or I mean, it hasn't yet to be named Leapfrog 2 ship. It is a behemoth, that is for sure. I definitely overbuilt it a little. It's all scaffolding right now. The plan is to just turn on the nanobots and kind of see what they get done with the place. I've got these two slots back here. I think these are going to become nanobot hubs as well, these two empty spaces. But let's take a quick overview of the ship systems. So it's built around a solid, heavy armor core. The whole central run of the ship is heavy armor. It is flanked by large thrusters on either end, as well as 8 cargo containers per side. It'll be much easier to see this once it's built, or at least building. We've got a set of 8 thrusters in every direction, except for the sides where we have 4, so lateral strafing will be a bit slower, but you gotta make cuts somewhere. It's also got 4 little reactors over here on top. I do want to have multiple levels to this ship, but for now it's just gonna be one flat plane while we up the block limit. We've also got a survival kit. I believe it is over here. Yes, that will be the survival kit. I do like, just to get some sort of verticality, you can sort of go down between the storage bays into these little spaces. You come in here. These are both programmable blocks. We've got a projector. We've got a remote control. I just need to figure out where I'm going to put the antenna. But up front, we have this, which is a solid, heavy armor ramming battering ram, right? A front bumper, as it were. In fact, I might end up extending this a little bit further, because I do have a propensity to ram stuff. This will get turrets. In fact, we can probably start thinking about where we want them. They'll probably go on the sides of the cargo containers. And we need to figure out how we're going to dock this thing as well. because right now there's no build for that. But I think let's get this printing. I'm going to turn the nanobots on and just sort of let them go for it. We also got some cryo chambers. That's mostly so I can jump in there if I need some oxygen, if I run out. There are vents on this thing. These corner angled bits are actually vents, which is from a really cool mod, which I think is called a vent conveyor mod, which I'm a big fan of. And yes, and we have O2 H2 generators at the back with these, which are O2 tanks. Let's actually commit to this idea. Let's put, so we'll have, they do have connections on the bottom, yes. So we'll have a build and repair there, and a build and repair there. I need steel plate. So this ship has no assemblers, it has no refineries, it has no capacity to sort of produce its own components. We can decide later if that's something we want to work on. I'm not particularly fussed about it right now. I don't think we're going to have enough stuff to build even half of these thrusters, so the real dream here, I've told it not to build the large ones, but the real dream here is that we can turn this on, start the time-lapse camera, and just sort of watch everything come together. But who knows? Who knows? Alrighty, huge chunk of the ship has printed, but unfortunately we are predictably out of certain resources. The biggest one is thruster components. We have no silver, no platinum, very little cobalt, which is all needed to make thruster components. We also need more cobalt to make grids, but we seem to actually be out of nickel first. So we clearly need to go do some mining before we can finish building the ship. The irony is not lost on me. The hauling ship needs me to go do some hauling before I can do my hauling, but you know, that's just how it goes in these parts, I guess. The plan here is pretty straightforward. I'm going to take a starfish and a hand drill, and we're going to go fill up on various resources. I'm actually going to do my best to do this as quickly as possible, so I'm probably not going to trouble you all with the ride. Let's go do this quickly. There we go. Unless something very interesting happens. This is just going to happen. We're going to snap our fingers, and I'm going to leave that time-lapse running. The nice thing about Space Engineers is, I guess the upside and downside of the way this game is made, is that there are no sort of chunks like you get in games like Minecraft, which means that everything is always happening all at once, which is really, really cool, and they've done some very clever things to try and reduce the load on the server CPU, but and on the client CPU as well, but it does mean that you can run things even if you're very far away from them, which is, I really do like that about SE. So I'm going to do a full load of nickel here, and then probably go get some platinum, and then cobalt. Oh, we need silver too. Okay, I'm going to have to do a whole bunch of stuff. All right. That's the kind of thing that doesn't need to be in the video. So I'll see you all in a little bit. Okay, many trips later, and we've actually got all the ore we need in the base. What we need now is to process it. So I figured out, you know what? Let's carve out a little bit of space back here. I was gonna do this just. I'll be honest, I didn't realize I wasn't recording. So we're gonna slap down a couple of large industrial refineries, and we're gonna get the modules in there too. Ooh yeah, don't forget about the modules. Modules. So yeah, we got to refine this stuff up. And if I remember correctly from our tests, I mean, power isn't really a concern anymore, so it's just going to be yield. Yield all the way. Speed is a bit of a concern. You know, I want to get this done within the reasonable lifetime so that we can actually have this episode go out to all of you wonderful people. But you know what? It's okay. This will do the trick too. Let's just do the yield. Yield does, if it'll give you a functional boost in speed, in that, you know, you're producing 200% as much stuff, therefore, you're doing it twice as quickly. That kind of makes sense, right? Sort of, if you're insane. Okay, that's all connected up. And then we got to get pipe covers. You can't just be having exposed plumbing like this. It's just it's untoward. Okay, so we got ourselves some refineries. Izzy's will automatically assign itself to those. We'll build the scaffolding down to it in the future. Don't worry about that. For now, they're just gonna kind of float awkwardly off the edge of the edge of the whole thing. Suppose we could give them a little bit of scaffolding to hold on to, right? Like, at least it's something. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, that's a little better. At least it looks like it's being held into the rock now. It's not exactly perfect, but it is a start, you know? Alright, so then I think I want to go and continue working on the actual ship itself. There's a few things we need to do. For example, this connection here, these conveyor lines do not connect to the front conveyor lines at all. Those conveyor lines do not connect to these conveyor lines at all. So I think the simplest solution here is put a conveyor in right there, another one right there. Then I need a connection point to actually link these things across the bow. There's one connection at the back, but that's not the amount of redundancy I feel comfortable around. We could run one through here, but I don't want to separate this beam. This is like the hard armor running through the entire ship, and I kind of want to keep that consistent. Do we just tank the risk and just have one at the back? Maybe. Look at that, immediately cleaning out the junk. I'm not even that good about keeping my place clean. Alright, so how are we going to do this? I do want one of these. We need a door right into the ship. And this is like, you know, right by the reactors. Seems like as good a place as any, to be completely honest. So let's get a door. We might as well have it run all the way through. I will eventually enclose this vessel. I actually don't know what we're at block count wise right now. And I need to go see why we aren't making thruster components. We should have everything. Take me to the refineries. So basic refineries cooking up some iron. I think it's probably turned off, which is actually okay. You're processing silver right now. Why don't you do platinum instead, boss? You know, those ones are working on the cobalt. Okay, cool. I mean, it'll tick over. It's gonna take a while. Hey, we have a thruster. That's a start. We have another thruster. I think we are missing, unironically, like 100,000 thruster components or something stupid. Let's go ahead and put these into the build planner. I don't think they're going to build on their own. That is the medical components. And then the same will go for the survival kit. I don't think Izzy's script knows about the medical components. It learns as you put things through it. So if we make ourselves a medical kit, it should show up on the auto crafting screen after a few seconds. Hey, we got more thrusters. Okay, it's starting to come together. Alright, the last few thrusters are currently being welded up. Most of the stuff has been produced, which is pretty snazzy. I've stolen some steel plates from that block over there, and we are going to now build out this keel. That's the plan anyway. I want to kind of make a bigger deal out of this this crash bar. Is that how I want it to look? Does that look a little bit anemic? Yeah, maybe it does. I think we pull it back a little further even. Wait for that to get picked up. And you know what? You can have yourself some of these metal grids too. I love the build and repair bots. They are, oh man, they are a life changer. Let me tell you. There we go. Okay, so now we make a big old ramming rod. That's the plan here. I want a crash bar. So how do we want to do this? Does that look a little bit silly? That does look a little bit silly. That I don't love. Think like the hammerhead from Knights of the Old Republic. Can I see over that if I build it like this? Yeah, you can see enough. I guess we could move you up a bit. Yeah, what if we do a raised bridge? That'll look pretty cool. Yeah, so what are your options here? So you're running down the main deck of the Leapfrog 2, right? That's too close. That can't be there. That's far too close. Don't be, you're insane if you think that's not too close. You gotta go like, I don't know. Wait for the lag to end. Then you go there. That's the spot for it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Now we're talking. Okay, then bang, boom. One of those. You cut this window out. That window, it wasn't doing anything for you anyway. You go ahead, you give him one of these. And boom, right up there. That's where the cockpit goes. Okay. We've done it. We've cracked the code. We've blown this case wide open. That's more like it. There we go. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. A little bit more design coming in now. A little bit more style. I'm liking the brand. I want to go smash something now. Don't you? God, there's so much shit on my screen. This game really, it suffers from... You know how the games have, like, power creep? Space Engineers has clutter. Just clutter creep. That's what I'm designating it. It is unbelievable how quickly your screen just fills up with signals and UI elements. I've got everything on here. I've got gyros. Let's take a quick head count here. So we got gyros along the bottom. Check. We got thrust in every direction. Not much right now, but some. Yep, left and right. We got forward and back. Remember, this isn't a combat ship at all. This thing is meant to move cargo and potentially ram stuff. It might become a combat ship, and we could wrap it in layers of armor and add more greebles and things and whatnots and so on and such as is. But I think for now, we cut that lad off. We do a little painting here. And is that the right color? Is that gonna grind it down? Did I get the right green? Was that the green? I forget. Yeah, that's the one. There we go. Okay, cool. It'll go ahead and grind all that away. And then we can set this ship up. Okay, you ready for it? Made in movement. Listen, it's the skeleton. It's the bones. But how close are we? Please don't be too much further than 200. Oh, 255. Oh, God. Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay. I gotta go kill something. It's the only way. Where could we... Okay, 55 blocks. 55 blocks. We could shave off all of this armor over here. That's just aesthetic right now. It doesn't do anything for the ship, right? We gotta get down to 255, or we gotta go kill a reaver. I see no reavers. I see lots of rocks, but no reavers, unfortunately. I don't love this at all, like in the slightest. The way these are set up. The thinking there was like, I want the thrusters to be staggered, but I'm actually now realizing like I hate the way that looks. So why don't you go ahead and get demolished, nerd? Give me thrusters again. I think the general pack, but we're going to use those sci-fi ion ones. Okay, change color here. And I'll have you mirror the front of the ship for the moment. This actually adds blocks to our total count. But, you know, I never said I was intelligent. I just said I was building a ship. Okay, that means that we can shave off a few over here. We can always put all this back. And like, this is like the definition of temporary. This ship is going to change a lot over the next few episodes. For the people who enjoy the design process on this channel, that's going to be great. For the people who just want to see me... I don't know why you're here, to be honest, if you don't enjoy the design process. So never mind. It's going to be great. Okay, I like this little... I like the little, like, funnel down. It's so that we can access the cargo points on those. But I think for now... It's got to go in the name of efficiency. So this thing is going to be basically just a bunch of light armor holding together some cargo containers, which is scary, 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 scary. Okay, we've trimmed off a bit of the fat there. Let's see what that works out to now. 206. Okay, hey, we're really close. The windows can probably go... both to the walls and otherwise. There are many other things dripping down. sorry, I'll stop. We don't need the floor in here so much. Like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, don't listen. Ignore the holes. They're there for speed and efficiency. Okay, these are the holes of efficiency. oh, reavers. Oh, okay, hold on. Well, now I feel stupid. Still, this does fly. I think this is going to put us on exactly 200 blocks, yes? 201. Okay, I got to make a few more savings because I want a couple of landing legs so that we can grab that scaffolding. And I guess the easiest way to do this is going to be to just put it on the bottom here. Okay, I think it's time. Do we have thrust in all directions? We have... No, we do not have thrust on the right side at all. Okay, that's no good. Why are we not making thrusters? We should be making thrusters. I mean, I can tell you why. It's because the thing's prioritizing the wrong resources to refine. What are you stuck on? You need platinum. How about you? You're making grills. That's good. You need platinum. Okay. Refineries. What are you doing, bud? You're doing nickel. Okay, listen, that's not platinum. I know you're all very smart lads, but that is not platinum. Not. No matter what they tell you. Izzy's great guy. Terrible priority. I know there's a way to like manually override the script. I cannot remember what it is. Did you just put M in the name? Refinery 1, exclamation mark manual. That's what I need to do. Okay. Refinery. Put the 2 new ones as being manual. Okay, let's see if that works. So now if I go to Refinery and I do that, that one does, and it's not. Okay, there we go. It's not forcing control. Okay, awesome. Okay. I'm gonna go brush my teeth. It is currently midnight, and I'll be back in a second. Okay, this thing is still somehow not done. The time-lapse camera also wasn't running while I was gutting this, which is very annoying, because I thought I was doing a lot of that stuff. It crashed, which I hadn't noticed until too late. Anyway, I do like the way this ship looks kind of in profile with all the bits missing, but it is not going to be its final form. We will have a really cool design. Maybe we keep it super skeletal. What do you guys think? Skeletal? Skeletal? What do you say? Either way, you're probably wrong. All right, let me out of here, please. Let me in. And by let me in, I mean give me more than 1,000 bullets and take me to Nirvana, because I'm gonna go and shoot stuff. What are we out of? Why are we not making more ammo boxes? We have magnesium. You, make this many times. Ah, we don't have enough magnesium. Well, that's embarrassing. Okay, add that to the shopping list. You know what? Where's the starfish? Let me go get some. Okay, snap and ye shall receive. It's moved? It's moved. Okay. We need magnesium. There it is. We got about 15, 16K. There we go. And it is processing. Okay, dope. Okay, put it in the manual refinery. Looking very nice. Keep topping that up. There we go. 6.6. Yeah, I think we probably want Gatling ammo. I'll be honest. I think I want ammo. Lots and lots of Gatling ammo. Let the turrets load up. That seems like a good idea, but also more bullets for this thing. Because, am I crazy? But I think we go try Killer Reaver. If they're even still here. They're not. Hold on. Entity list. No, they're gone. Okay. Never mind. That took a little longer than expected, didn't it? Okay. We could go blow up whatever that is now. Okay, here we go. What have we got? What are we looking at? What are we looking at? That's a station. Ooh. I think we can take it. I think we can take it. Hubris never killed anybody.
Are you sure about that?
I may have overshot a little bit. May have gone a little too close to the sun on this one, and forgotten that you are actually supposed to aim at the things you want to kill. Cool. Tail between my legs. We'll call that a scouting mission. Call that a scouting mission. Okay, well that was, well, I wouldn't say that worked out well, would you? We'll be back for you, SPRT Pirate Hiding Station. Mark my words. I can smell the uranium on that place. We'll be back. With a large bullet hole removed from the very center of our ship. Yeah, large grid guns are slightly scarier than their small grid counterparts, that is for sure. Okay, weird little side quest there. I wonder if that's given us enough time to actually print anything. The irony of me saying this episode is going to be structured in such a way because I have absolutely no time, and then this has just taken an unfathomable amount of time I don't have to finish, is not lost on me. I should probably go to bed. This is probably less important. now that I'm forced to confront the insanity of my own decisions, this feels like this might be secondary to like, you know, avoiding Alzheimer's. Okay, so what do we build? What are we welding right now? What's the hold up, bub? So 180. Okay, we got 2 there. All right, so we have thrust in every direction, which is kind of crazy for a guy like me. All right, well, in order to avoid complete madness later in life, even more so than now, take me to my refineries. Let's take away the manual tag. Just let Izzy's do its thing with him. Hopefully it will make the right decisions. I don't think it will. I don't. But it's time for the maiden voyage. Yes, indeed. Okay, hop in the hot seat. All right, and blast off. 2 engines running out of a potential 6. But it's a start, you know. It's all about the beginnings. It's all about the beginnings. All right, orient me towards the scaffolding. There it is. Let's go haul that back to the banana stand. That was the goal for today. So even if we've just got the shell of what we're working on, that's a start. This ship has potential. Okay, so I can already see some things I'd like to change. I think, just judging by the size of the ship, like the length of it, I think the battering ram needs to go out 1 more block, just to kind of give us just that little bit more reach. I like the thruster configuration at the front. I like that it's kind of sort of all crammed together, but we're gonna have to be really cool. We're gonna have to get really clever with our greebling to sort of arc it all together. And I'm probably gonna do the classic rib style that I really like doing. I think that's how I'm gonna tie a lot of this together. I don't think we're ever gonna make it airtight. We could pressurize this little cabin space maybe, but I think the rest of the ship is probably not going to be airtight. Just because I think it'll be easier to design something interesting looking if we don't do it that way. Okay, but enough of that. See you guys when we get there. Okay, a bit embarrassing. I may or may not have overshot that just a touch. So let's approach it from the other direction. Thankfully, the camera wasn't recording. It never happened. Nothing, no sir. I'm definitely not making awful decisions. It's definitely not 1:22 a.m. No sirree, no. Let's go ahead and dock to this thing. Let's just get the docking over with. You know, there's a joke in there about, is this an average Saturday night for anybody else? I too like my hangars large and gaping. There's, it's an absolute wonder why we have not been contacted about the update. There it is. There's the next one. Are we going to be able to yoink you? Are you yoinkable? You've looked yoinkable. Submissive and yoinkable, that is. I think this can be done. Yes? Yes? Yes. Yes. Here's the plan. We clamp the feet down right over here. Right? Easy as. And we haul this block back to base. But there is a but. We might be too heavy to be able to turn. Can we move, like, at all? No. But that might also be happening because this does not belong to us. The game can get kind of silly with it sometimes. Or maybe we need to take it back in 2 parts. That's also an option. So that is 419 thruster components. I know what I'm up to right now. Not enough to build our big thrusters, any of them, but definitely enough to get started on the rest of this.
Inventory full.
Okay, I remember this being a problem for one reason and one reason only, which was that something about this was controlled by the enemy. And if anything here is controlled by the enemy, it is going to get destroyed when we get back to base. Like, it's not like a maybe, it's going to get blown up by the Gatling guns, and I don't want that. So what I'm going to try and do is this. I'm going to try and go grab a control panel, right? Let's go ahead and just clear our inventory for a second. Grab that. Can't find one construction component. Are you sincere? Okay, well there's 4 in there. All right, so let's put this down. Like there, on the merge block. That seems safe. And then give me everything on the ship. Transfer to me. Yes, info. Dead station signal. Convert to ship. That's why it couldn't move. Okay, there we go. It was a station, no longer. 'Tis now ours. So, with that in mind, physics should apply again. And even if it's very slow, this thing should be able to move. I have a feeling we still have some non-ship pieces. Okay, so this roof piece is separate. The one I'm currently clamped to is its own thing. So if I just went convert to ship, can I pull that off? Yeah. Okay, so I can just take that piece with me. I see. Do we just go for that center block then instead? Yeah, this might just be busted, right? Maybe we can clamp one to the other, because this is a lot of metal grids. Like, I would like to salvage this. So let's be smart about this. We grab, there is power on the lower grid, right? That is powered. We grab a magnetic plate, this one. We stick it here, and we glue those together. Okay, letting go and attaching. Okay, cool. So that's attached to that now. And then if I go back down, I'm now attached to that, and we're taking the centerpiece with us. Okay, and I think I'm just going to do the same thing. I think we're just going to sandwich big chunks of this together. This isn't quite as good as I would have hoped. I'll be honest, guys. I think our dreams of sort of converting this into a flying hangar are dead. I think instead the plan here is going to be to just kind of stack our salvage and take it all in one heap. You gonna connect? Yes, you are. Very nice. But now I do need to remember to just go in, and we need to convert that next piece to a station, and so on forever and ever. Amen. Okay, cool. We got another piece. There we go. That is a lot of heavy armor that is about to come with us. So, final piece of today's puzzle is going to be to grab that big piece over there. I think I'm going to ignore the other one. We might actually just use the build and repair bots to try and salvage it. But I definitely want to grab this chunk. Unless... I mean, no, that's a lot of steel plates. Let's see. Let's see if we can't get these to work. Set you to fly mode. For the ignore color, I want to make sure I set it to be whatever this is. So that we don't, there we go. So we don't go ahead and weld up the salvage. That's a bit pointless. Okay, so control shift middle mouse. And this should get ground up, which I will help with. But the janitors should take care of this now. At least I hope so. They mind doing anything at all, please. Literally positioned over top of it. They're gonna go and grind before weld. That's right, because they're trying to build these, and that's just not gonna work. Okay, there we go. All right, let me give it a hand with cleanup, and I think we'll take this back to the base. And there we go, all cleaned up. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I think we can do one of two things. Maybe we can even do them both. Let's get crazy with it. First off, we can delete the scaffolding signal. There's nothing left to grab. We can observe and admire. Not our ship. I was actually trying to get a bit further out. There we go. We could, okay, camera, you're gonna fight me? You're gonna fight me today, on the day of my daughter's wedding. You're gonna fight me. Oh my god. There we go. Anybody just gonna look at it from this angle. Whatever. Okay, thank you, autosave. Just, you know what? You know what? Forget it. Forget it. I'm firing the engines. We're leaving. Okay? I was gonna do a whole thing where we admire our spoils and we enjoy our new-found treasures, but no. No, we're just gonna fly towards the banana stand, probably miss it, and crash into the goddamn moon. That's it. That's all you get. Thank you for being here. It's been an absolute pleasure playing this tonight. That's a lie. It has been... It's taken so long to do this. We just had no resources. And that's my fault. Or something, probably. The comments will definitely think so. I'll see you all in the next one, everybody. Thank you so much. Let me know what you think we should name this behemoth next time. And until then, I will see you all in the next one. Cheers. I'm about to run out of oxygen. Okay? Remind me to knock 50k off the accounts.
A few moments later.
That's a tragedy. Oh, okay, we respawned right there. Very nice. Okay, hold on, quickly. PS, before I forget. Deposit, 50k. We really should build a medical room at this point. Okay, there we go. 50k gone. What are we down to? What are we down to? We have contracts? Oh, hell yeah. I had no idea. You made it to the end of the video. Congratulations and thank you. That puts you in the top 3% of viewers. Here's another video that YouTube thinks you're going to like, and here is a list of all the patron and channel member names. If you don't see yours on there, you can find a link down in the description where you can sign up and support this content directly. If your name is on there, well, you probably already know that, huh? So, what are you still doing here?